వచ్చిందా
రాకూడదు ఆల్రెడీ లైవ్ అని చూపిస్తుంది.
शेयर करूँ and start. All the best, ma'am. Session starts with this, no? Hello, friends. Thank you, madam. And the summer here, Masti. Thank you so much. We will wait for some more people to join.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah, let me wait for a few more people to join and then we can start the session. The link has been posted and I'm waiting for people to join. Thank you so much for your patience, Musky. And thank you, madam. Yours was the first wish for me and a positive note to start my first live streaming. Hello, Suhasini. A few more minutes and we'll start the session on change management. Just waiting for a few more people to join. You can type any question or anything which you want me to discuss in this session. You can please type your queries. I think I'm audible. Thank you, Abhishek. I welcome you all to this session of change management. Two or three more people and we'll start the session. Hello, Smita. Okay, maybe a few more and we can start. Hello, Sanjay. Hi, Sanjay. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome to the session. Okay, I think we'll start the session. Thank you so much. And before I start the session, I would like to introduce myself. This is Satya Kesaraju and the founder of S4G, Skills for Development, and it's a skill development center where we train people on various skills. After 10 years of experience in teaching in the management department, I felt an internal calling to shift myself where I can transform people. That is how I quit my job and came into this training profession where I have the capability to transform lives of people. And that's the reason I'm sitting here today with S4G as a founder of the training center. And that's my journey where I'm going to transform the lives of people, at the same time discover about myself. That's all about Satya. Am I audible to all of you? If you can please type yes, then we can go right into the session. If you can please type yes, then I can start the session. Am I audible to all of you? Can you all hear me? Ma'am, am I clear? Hello Mahesh. Am I audible? Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, and with this I would like to start the session on change management. Yeah. Moving further on today's topic, the change management. Change is an inseparable part of nature, as we all know. Only thing that's constant is change. The seasons come and go. The species adapt over time. Yet human beings, the very nature, a part of nature, we are averse towards the word called change. Studies have proven that there is a part in our brain which is actually called the corpus stratum. That is situated in the brain, which triggers a hormone called dopamine, a chemical called dopamine that actually creates stress whenever we face an unfamiliar, undesired situation. This actually creates a resistance for us whenever there is something that changes, there is something that is not usual, we feel stressed and we don't like or we don't accept stress. We don't accept the change in our life. Studies have proven that around 65% of the total population usually don't want to leave their hometowns, their own countries, their own places to explore something new. We are so much attached to our routine. We form a routine and we are used to the straight paths. We never want to explore anything new in our life. And that's the reason we resist change. It's not said by me, but actually it is a survey that is made by the people, where people don't want to move away from their comfort zone. And that's how the stress begins. That's how they resist the change. Okay. Now you might ask me, why should I embrace change? Why should I embrace change? Why can't I hold on to what is in front of me and what is certain? But you always remember that change is the only agent for you to grow. And man cannot discover the new oceans unless he has the courage to lose the sight of the shore. If you don't accept the change, you're not going to grow. Only the person who has the courage to explore, he will discover new things in his life. Okay, keeping this aside, I would like to move further. Have you ever noticed, whenever we talk about any betterment, we talk about self-transformation in a person, like, is he doing something better in his life for the, like taking up an old hobby or running a marathon or learning something new, you can see that he is energized, he is empowered, he feels happy when you put him such kind of a question. That's because self-transformation actually has a positive effect in the minds of the people. Yes, thank you so much. Once again, welcome you all. I can see Sanjay, Santosh, and many people joining over here. And yeah, coming to this, I was talking about self-transformation, which actually has a positive effect in the minds of the people. You feel more energized, you feel more comfortable when you take up something new for the betterment of yourself. That is a change for yourself. You really feel happy for it. Have you ever noticed the self-transformation books and the names of the self-transformation books, like Awaken the Giant Within, Practicing the Power of Now, or You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Yourself and Living an Awesome Life. Can you see the names? Awaken the Giant Within you. So you can't escape, but this really has a positive impact on your mind. The self-transformation is more energizing, is more empowering. It creates a positive note in your mind and you're happy to take this transformation. But is it possible? There is one more transformation which is actually called the organizational transformation. When you hear the word organizational transformation, the layoffs, the retrenchments, the cutoffs, the blood is going to drain from your face, you want to run and hide somewhere. Running is possible, but hiding is not possible because most of our lifespan we do spend in the organizations. Why is it so? When self-transformation is energizing, why is an organizational transformation not energizing? Why is it exhausting? Yes? Can you type? Can you give me a response? Why do you think organizational transforming is so exhausting and self-transformation has a positive impact on us? Can I get any answers from your side? Why do you think it's exhausting? Yeah, anybody who can, you can just put a note. Why do you think organizational transformation is exhausting and self-transformation has a positive impact and makes you happy and feel energetic? Yeah, organizations are on a constant change because of various things that are actually inevitable. Because of the external factors, because of, we do have the COVID situation now, which is a crisis situation, which is actually forcing the organizations to transform themselves. And because of mergers, because of acquisitions, and because of many internal and external factors, it forces the organization to adapt to change. Yes, ma'am, because of agility, because of the changes that are taking place. And Kishore, I can see your answer. It's a challenge in both cases, and therefore it is fearful. Yeah, we are we are fearful of the change that is occurring. Thank you so much for the response. And it is like an interactive session, and it's making me more excited, more energizing. Thank you so much for the response. Okay, now we can put two questions to ourselves. Why transforming is so exhausting, and how do we fix it? Even the organizations usually make it a kind of exhausting response to us, or exhausting feeling to us, because usually leaders wait. Leaders wait until the crisis situation arises. It's like preparing for the exams, like the students preparing for the exams just to get or to increase their marks or to get those ranks or grades. And it's like the teachers who are making them prepare before the exams just to increase the grades. And it's like you are only preparing the people to face a crisis, and again the situation will become normal after the crisis is gone. That is, it's an ad hoc kind of a transformation that takes place in the organization that makes it more exhausting for us. And this, a change is always resisted by the people because it is imposed on us. And it makes it even hard and more exhausting for the people to accept it in an ad hoc situation, to suddenly change, to suddenly move from their comfort zone. Because they are used to the comfort zone till then, you have to work for more hours. You have to do something new, learn a new technology, adapt yourself to the changes that are occurring suddenly, and you don't like it. And that's where the resistance starts. And is there a way to fix it? That's my question. It is exhausting because it is done always in the crisis situation. Is there a way to fix it? That's my question. So the students prepare for the exam, the teachers are forcing them to prepare for the exams, and though their grades are increasing, but the meaning of education is not served here. It's not survived here. It may be helpful at that particular situation, but it's not possible to help them in their future. The education is not going to help them or fetch anything in the future if it is done in an ad hoc situation. And it's the same with the organization. Any kind of transformation that is done in the crisis just to face that particular situation won't be helpful and definitely will be exhausting for the people. Yeah, I can see some more people joining. Hello Vicky, and thank you for joining. And I wish many more of you would join and take the advantage of the session. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was just talking about the organizational transformation and how exhausting it is if it is done in an ad hoc situation. So given the obstacles, how can transformation be empowering and energizing? Now that's my session actually. All these are the obstacles. Even the organization is actually making us exhausted. We are not happy with the change. We are resisting the change. And how do we fix it? And that's the whole session today. So these are the obstacles actually, and this is the reason why we feel exhausted. Yes, today I am here with 5 imperative strategies that are actually going to make the organizational transformation also energetic and also empowering. So, all the 5 things, or all 5 strategic imperatives do have one thing in common, that is putting the people first. Am I audible? Yeah, we are moving on to the 5 strategic imperatives. Can I get an yes? Can I get a question? Yes, Am I audible, and shall we start the 5 strategic imperatives that will actually make the organizational transformation more energizing? Okay, thank you for the response. And we are moving on with the first one, that is putting the people first. My first imperative would be to inspire through purpose. Always the organizations, when they are going to transform, it's usually the operational goals or it is usually the financial goals that gives a kick or a rising or empowering the leaders, but not the employees. It might be energetic to the leaders, but it might not be energetic to the employees. So, now how do you make it more energizing, more empowering to the people? Yes, here, to motivate more broadly, the transformation needs to connect with a deeper sense of purpose. You must be able to connect the employees and the people with a deeper sense of purpose. It should reflect something more aspirational. It's just not the economic exchange, but connecting them to the roots, which is more than the financial aspect. It has to explain how important the people are and what kind of difference are they making in the organization. And it should give them a sense of meaning that will actually make them energizing and empowering more than the financial and the operational goals of the organization. Yes, so this is the first and very important imperative, is you're connecting them, you're inspiring them through a purpose in the organization where they feel their importance, which is more than the financial aspect, which is more than the operational aspect, which gives them equal empowerment, equal energy, just like the leaders. So this is my first imperative of putting the people first. And now I would like to go into the second one. Again, here also it's the same thing, you're putting the people first. Yeah, it is. To win, you should go all in. Now what does this mean? Just like when you're running a marathon, you need to lose few kilos, a few calories, a few kilograms. But is it enough? If you're going to lose certain calories or kilograms, are you going to win the marathon? You must go deep within inside you, know certain other things. Make yourself capable of winning the marathon. In the same way, it's not just the layoffs or cutting down the investment for the organizations. But the organization has to think of initiatives that actually drives growth, that actually changes the fundamental functioning process of the organization. You should go deep within to invest more on leadership development, to invest more on talent acquisition. It's not just the layoffs, it's not just the cut-offs, it's not just the retrenchment that is going to fetch you something. Just like the few kilocalories which you are reducing before marathon is not going to help you win the marathon. But you need to go deep within you, know about your body and make it move in the marathon. In the same way, the organization has to make investments, initiatives to drive the growth and change the fundamental functioning, how the company is operating, how the leaders are making changes in the organization, how the talent acquisition is made in the organization, rather than just focusing on the layoffs and the cut-offs and the retrenchments. This is again, we are putting the people on the front side. That is, you're going deep within to have a win-win situation, both to the organization and to the employees. So I think I'm clear with the two. You're initiating people, you're connecting people to a deeper purpose, and you're making people, you're going deep within inside, and you're knowing what has actually to be done. So these are the two aspects. And Moving on to the third aspect. Am I clear? Any questions? Any questions regarding the two strategies where we are putting people in the front line? We are giving them a purpose. We are taking the initiatives to drive growth. Okay, I think I'm clear and I'm moving with the third imperative to put the people first. Yes, the third and the very important thing here is you're enabling the people with certain kinds of tools. You're giving them the capabilities. You're giving them the training plan, which is a key component of the change management effort. A well-planned training program is a key component of a change management effort. This actually gives the employees necessary competences where they are adopting a change to their day-to-day work. Just like a triathlon, I think you have heard, like a marathon, a triathlon, it requires different skill sets from people. Like you have to run, you have to swim, you have to ride, which actually requires different legs, different skills. In the same way, even the people have to understand, even the organization has to enable them with certain tools to succeed during the transformation and even beyond the transformation. So this is the third imperative, to put the people first, is to enable them with some kinds of tools that they need to succeed during the transformation, organizational transformation. And these necessary competencies will be used by them, are adopted by them or adapted by them to do their day-to-day work, and that makes them inexhaustible, energetic and empowered. If you are not sharpening the saw before going to a war, you cannot win the war. And giving them the tools is just like sharpening their saw. Am I clear? With the third aspect, where you're empowering people by giving them the tools, by making a necessary training plan in the organization that makes the people more empowered and energetic. Yes. Am I clear with the third aspect, where we are empowering people? Okay? And my fourth imperative is to put people first, is to instill the organization with a culture of continuous learning. You always have to instill a culture in the organization which has to change the mindset from a closed mindset to a growth mindset. Like till now in the organization, it's like you must prove yourself to be the smartest one present over there. But that's not actually required. It's always a constant learning that actually makes a person empowered. You're shifting your mindset from a closed mindset to a growth mindset, and that should be the culture, that is a continuous learning perspective. Should be there, should be developed in an organization to make the change, to make the transformation empowered and energetic. Where your role is to listen, learn, and bring about the best in the people. So instilling a culture of continuous learning is the fourth imperative to put people first. Yes, am I clear with the fourth imperative? We have connected people to the purpose. We have given them the necessary tools. We are changing their mindset from a closed mindset to a growth mindset. And we are moving on with the fifth imperative of putting people first. And this is mainly for the leaders. To move from an authoritative leadership into an inclusive leadership. An inclusive leadership includes, now a leader is a person who has a vision, who has a roadmap of the milestones that has to be achieved by the organization. It's just not holding the people accountable for their mistakes, but it's also listening to them, having an empathetic feeling, being more directive. It's not only listening to them, but also giving them a chance to give their views. You make them more comfortable. You make your leadership so comfortable that they can come and give their views to you. At the same time, you can implement those views in the transformation. That makes him more purposeful. And this is how he becomes more accountable. So this is my fifth imperative. Being more directive, and in order to capture the hearts and minds of people, the leader should be inclusive and not authoritative. So this is the first imperative. So in this era of, I think I am clear with all the 5 imperatives of putting the people first, empowering them, energizing them, giving them a purpose, giving them the tools, giving them the growth kind of a mindset, creating the proper culture within the organization. You're making them grow. And if the organizational transformation can include all these imperatives, I think just like this self-transformation, which is empowering, energetic, powerful, giving a positive space in your mind, maybe inculcating these imperatives would actually make even the organizational transformation more empowering, energetic, and exhilarating. So in this era of transformation, organizations are always going to transform themselves. They have to adapt to the situation. So the experience need not be exhausting. That is what is the whole session about. It need not be exhausting. It need not be scary. It need not be fearful. It is just not the crisis we are managing, but we are going deep within the roots of the organization, where we are inculcating and where we are putting the people in the front line. We are giving importance to the people, and that's how we are developing, how the organization is developing. So the transformation need not be exhausting. So we owe it to ourselves, to our organizations, to the society, more broadly, boldly, transform our approach. You transform your approach through the transformation. It need not be exhausting. It can be empowering. It can be energetic. So to do that, we need to put the people first. So this is what is the whole session about. The 5 imperatives that are making the transformation energetic, empowering, and exhilarating. Thank you so much. And it should not be like the monkey management where we are used to the routine. We don't want to move away. Even the organization or the people don't want to move away from the comfort zone. But it is to adapt ourselves to the changes, to get empowered with the changes, thereby helping the organization and helping ourselves also. Yes, thank you so much for the session, and I hope the session was useful, and because of time constraint, I am stopping the session over here, and any doubts, any kind of discussion, I will personally talk. I'll personally put the responses. And thank you so much for this empowered, energetic session. I hope the takeaways are clear and the session was useful to all of you. Thank you so much and meet you next time. Till then, bye.